Hey there guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode we completed the final remaining sea stone for this area. Well, there's more sea stones that we can complete, but we should not do that till later because the marks are really strong. So we completed all the sea stones that we can possibly complete up to this point. And it's been a long time since we first entered the Archlight Steep. So since we've gotten here, we've made significant progress. We've maxed out our character's Crystherium. We've upgraded our character's weapons. We've got new accessories. We've upgraded the accessories, and we've switched battle teams and all kinds of stuff. So before we head on to the next area, I'm gonna do an overall quick summary of everything we've done, in case you guys are wondering what I got equipped, my battle team, my formation, my paradigms, my weapons, my equipment. Because from here on out, the battles are going to be a lot tougher, and pretty much this is where the game really starts getting challenging. So a lot of people have asked me to do a review, because they're struggling in the areas past here. And this is where the game really starts getting challenging, especially if you're not prepared. But if you've been following this walkthrough, you should be more than enough prepared. So everything should be gravy. But I'm going to start off, and I'm just going to review everything and show you guys what I got so you can check it off the checklist. So let's start off with our battle team and paradigms. Now I like using Lightning, Vanille, and Fang. Girl power all the way, baby. Now the reason why is because I find Lightning very quick, and her weapons and accessories are built up around her quickness, and her weapons and accessories add to her quickness, making her even faster. So Lightning is really quick, and she's a great commando, and she's a great Ravager, and also she has the medic role. So Lightning is very important. A lot of people do not like to use Lightning, but I think she's very great. I use her as the leader because she can switch between my three favorite paradigms. So yeah, that's why Lightning's in the character. She's a great Ravager, she's a great commando, and she's a good medic. And also she's very fast. Now Vanille, I like having her around because she's an excellent saboteur. She can really throw some status ailments on enemies in her saboteur role. Also, I think she's the best medic in the game. It's arguable between her and Hope, but I like Vanille better because Vanille has more HP, and I like her Ravager role as well. She's a very strong Ravager, and her weapons are awesome, and also because of her saboteur and medic skills. Now you could replace Vanille with Hope, but he's a completely different character. Instead of being a saboteur, he's going to be a synergist, and he'll buff your characters up, which is good. But yeah, I prefer Vanille because she's an awesome medic. You can't really go wrong with Vanille. And finally, Fang. Now Fang is the best commando in the game, hands down. I think she's the best commando in the game. Her strength is up there, so she's going to be dealing massive damage. She's got excellent HP, and she also has access to the Sentinel role. So if you're ever in a bind, you can switch to her Sentinel, and she'll really draw the attention, allowing you to heal and really tank all the damage. But mainly because of her commando role. She's a phenomenal commando. The only thing I wish she had was a Ravager, which you can develop her as a Ravager, but I'm waiting to develop all secondary roles. So for now, all that she can do is be a great commando, a great Sentinel, and also she's a saboteur as well. Now the good thing about using Vanille and Fang together as saboteurs is they complement each other. So if Vanille is using like D-Protect or D-Shell, Fang will use Slow and like Veal and stuff like that. So they complement each other very well. So working together, they're a great team. So that's why I have my battle team Lightning, Vanille, and Fang, and I'm going to keep this battle team for the rest of the game because I've put a lot of effort into developing them and a lot of gil into upgrading their weapons and accessories. Alright, so now let's talk about the paradigms. I like Relentless Assault, and I use this as my active paradigm, which is Ravager, Ravager Commando. This is because you can stagger pretty much any enemy very quickly. Once the enemies are staggered, you can switch to Aggression, which is Commando, Ravager Commando. And Lightning and Fang will really do some work with their strong physical attacks as a Commando. And Vanille has very high magic as a Ravager, so she'll do a lot of work as a Ravager. So I use Relentless Assault to stagger the enemy, and then I switch to Aggression to finish them off. Next is Exploitation. Now this is a really excellent setup whenever you're going up against boss battles and stuff, because with 2 Sabotars, the boss will be fully debuffed within a couple seconds. Meanwhile, Lightning can stay in Commando and get the power chain on the stagger gauge, so that whenever the boss is fully debuffed, you can immediately switch to Relentless Assault and stagger the boss. Then I have Solidarity, which is Commando, Medic, Sentinel. Now this is not really for emergencies, but if you see your health kind of going low, you can well, this is more for emergencies than diversity. Like if 2 players or 3 players' health is really low, you can switch to Solidarity, and Fang will take all the attention as a Sentinel and tank the damage, while Lightning will keep attacking to keep the stagger gauge normalized without dropping. And Vanille is an awesome medic, so she'll heal everyone up as long as the damage isn't too great. Then I have Diversity. Now this is if you see a character's health getting low and you really don't want to switch to a medic role, you can switch to Diversity because you have Lightning as a Ravager and Fang as a Commando while Vanille heals, so that way you don't lose anything on the stagger gauge. If anything, the stagger gauge keeps going up because Lightning is attacking with her Ravager and Fang is attacking as a Commando while Vanille is healing. So this, if you see someone's HP going kinda low, just switch over to Diversity and they'll immediately be back up to full health because Vanille has very strong cure magic. Finally, we have Combat Clinic. Now in case of extreme emergencies and you see everyone's health going low and you're about to die, switch to Combat Clinic. This will allow Fang to draw all the attention and tank the damage, and you have 2 medics, Lightning and Vanille, so everyone's health will be immediately restored. This is the extreme healing emergency paradigm. So now that we've talked about the paradigm, let's talk about the Crystherium. So I have everyone's primary roles maxed out, and I haven't worked on any of their secondary roles yet. Now the reason for this is because I want to save all CP, because our characters are fine with their primary roles. We have everything we could want except for a synergist. I would like to have a synergist so that we could buff our characters up in the middle of battle. But we don't really need any of that right now because we're so strong we can take anything out pretty much. So until we get really close to the end of the game, I'm just gonna continue stacking up CP. Now how you go about this is completely up to you. If you want, you can start working on your character's secondary roles once your primary roles are maxed out. So as you can see, everyone has about 300,000 CP saved up. Now you're wondering, why am I saving this much CP? Well, whenever the Crystherium expands again to stage 9, the higher amount of CP you have, the more you'll be able to jumpstart and learn those abilities as soon as the Crystherium expands. So if you recall, when the Crystherium expanded from stage 7 to stage 8, it took us a really long time to max out the Crystherium. So if you can start saving up CP, then as soon as that Crystherium expands, you'll have a huge jump start, and it won't take as long to max it out. Because whenever the Crystherium expands again, you're going to need a lot of CP to max it out. Pretty much double the time it took to max out Crystherium stage 8. So now, you may be wondering, how much CP am I trying to stack up before the Crystherium expands? Again, Well, you can have a maximum of 999,999 CP. So whenever I get that much CP, anything else is just wasted. So if I manage to get 999,999 CP before the Crystherium expands again to stage 9, then I'm going to use the CP to expand the character's secondary roles, because anything over that amount of CP is just being wasted. So of course, once everyone reaches their max CP that they can store, I'm going to use it. But until then, I'm just going to continue to save it up. Alright, so that should pretty much cover everyone's Crystherium. Now let's talk about the equipment. Now this is what we've been putting a lot of time into. So first of all, we have Lightning's Axis Blade fully upgraded. Now you may wonder, why haven't I transformed this? Well, it's because the Adamantite costs 250,000 gil. And I did not want a gil farm anymore because we already spent several hours gil farming already. So very soon in the game, we'll be able to have access to a lot of gil. And then I'm going to upgrade the Axis Blade into the Einkindler, transform it into the Einkindler, and then fully upgrade the Einkindler. But for now, she's great with the Axis Blade. Now if you want to know why I like to use the Axis Blade, it's because for each attack, it charges Lightning's ATB gauge. So this will allow Lightning to constantly be attacking, and you'll hardly wait for her ATB gauge to recharge. Moving on, we have the ribbon. Now the ribbon can be obtained from the chocobos. While riding a chocobo, you'll occasionally see an exclamation mark over top of its head. This will mean that you're close to a dig spot, and as you get closer to the dig spot, the exclamation mark will start blinking faster. So once you're over top of the dig spot, you can dig a treasure out of the ground while riding a chocobo. Once you dig up a total of 20 treasures, you'll get the ribbon as a reward, and also you'll unlock an achievement or a trophy. So the ribbon is excellent because it increases all status ailment resistances by 20%. Meaning that like all statuses, D-Shell, D-Protect, Slow, Daze, all that stuff, you're resistant to by 20%. Now as you start upgrading the ribbon, it can get up to a maximum of 25% resistance. So we haven't started upgrading it because we didn't have the right components. It does take quite a bit of experience to upgrade, so we are going to get to that eventually. But for now, just having the ribbon is a huge head start on the game. So I highly suggest to get the ribbon. Again, all you have to do is dig up 20 items in the Archlight Steep while riding a chocobo, and then you'll get the ribbon. This is a very rare accessory and it's really hard to get. The easiest way to get it is digging up treasures while on a chocobo, and it can be done in chapter 11 before you advance to the Mahabharata, which is where we're about to go. Next up, we have the Aurora Scarf. Now the Aurora Scarf fully charges the wearer's ATB gauge prior to battle, meaning that as soon as you start the battle, your ATB gauge is going to be full, so you can launch out 5 attacks, considering that your Crystherium's maxed out with lightning and you have that ATB level. She can attack 5 times in one turn. So as soon as you start the battle, the Aurora Scarf will allow you to have a full ATB gauge, and you can immediately start attacking the enemy before he even sees it coming. Also, if you look over on the right hand side, you'll see that the ATB rate for lightning is increased by 15%. The Aurora Scarf adds like a 5%. Yeah, the Aurora Scarf adds a plus 5%, meaning that her overall ATB charge rate is increased by 5%, meaning that you'll be able, the ATB rate will charge faster with the Aurora Scarf. So if you're wondering how to get the Aurora Scarf, all you need is a Whistlewind Scarf, which you can obtain back in chapter 9, or you can even buy it at a store. Once you buy the Whistlewind Scarf, you're going to upgrade it, and once it's at its maximum level, you use a upgrade crystal called the Rodro Crossite. So you use the Rodro Crossite to transform the Whistlewind Scarf once it's fully upgraded into the Aurora Scarf. And then you'll have a full ATB gauge at the start of each and every battle. Next up, we have the sprint shoes. Now the sprint shoes are probably the most important accessory you can get. It casts haste at the start of battle, meaning you'll have auto haste. So haste will significantly increase the rate that your ATB gauge charge. It's like double. So the sprint shoes is kind of tricky to get. Pretty much what you're going to have to do in short is get either a tetradic crown or a tetradic terra, and then you're going to fully upgrade it, and then you're going to dismantle any 3 accessories. Once you dismantle any 3 accessories, you dismantle the fully upgraded tetradic crown. That'll give you the Hermes sandals. Once you have the Hermes sandals, you fully upgrade the Hermes sandals until it has a star. Then you use an upgrade crystal called the Perovskite. The Perovskite upgrade crystal will transform the Hermes sandals into sprint shoes, so you'll have auto haste. Now I highly suggest to get at least 3 sprint shoes so you can put them on your main characters in battle, so that everyone has auto haste, because it'll really make your battles fly by and you'll have a huge advantage at the start of battle. And if you don't have a synergist in your party, like I don't have one right now, the sprint shoes will work just fine. Except for in boss battles, because the auto haste does wear off after like a minute or 2. Alright, so now moving on, we're going to talk about Vanille. So Vanille, we have the Marlboro wand weapon. Now in order to get the Marlboro wand, you have to have the Belladonna wand, which can be obtained through the main story or it can be bought in a shop. Then you're going to want to fully upgrade the Belladonna wand, and you're going to use a Uranite upgrade crystal to transform it into the Marlboro wand. And then once you have the Marlboro wand, you're going to fully upgrade it so it has a star next to it. This will increase the stats. Also, the reason why I'm using the Marlboro wand is because it has the improved debuffing 2 passive ability. Now what that means is while Vanille is a Saboteur, she will debuff all of the enemies and even bosses. Well, the improved debuffing increases the effectiveness of her debuffs, meaning that she'll be able to immediately stick deprotect or de-shell on an enemy. So it really makes it a lot more useful when fighting boss battles and stuff. So that's why I chose to upgrade the Belladonna wand into the Marlboro wand. Also, her magic is over 1,000 right now, so she's going to be doing massive damage. Next up, we have the Survivalist Catalog. Now the Survivalist Catalog increases the odds of obtaining shrouds after battle, so that way you can farm up a lot of Agizols and Fortizols. That way you can use them at the start of each battle and you'll be fully buffed. So the Survivalist Catalog really increases the chances of obtaining shrouds after battle. So you can get this by completing the Sea Stone Mission 16, and it'll give it to you as a reward. Next up, we have the Speed Sash. Now the Speed Sash restores a small amount of ATB gauge each time an enemy is defeated. So each time you kill an enemy, the ATB gauge will recharge slightly. Now if you use a Speed Sash together with a Survivalist Catalog, or you can use 2 Speed Sashes, either way. If you look over on the right underneath passive abilities, we have the random instant chain. Now what this means is that we have a small percent to instantly stagger an enemy. Meaning as soon as we get into a battle, say we get into a battle with a crazy hard boss and we can't beat him, you have a small percentage to instantly hit him, and the first time you hit him he's going to be staggered. That's why the random instant chain passive ability is really useful, because you can instantly stagger an enemy. And if you equip 2 characters with Speed Sashes, it increases the chance of the instant stagger. So you have it on one character, and then you equip 2 Speed Sashes on the other character, it'll increase the chances because you have 2 people with random instant chain passive ability, not just 1. So it's twice the effect. Finally, we have the Sprint Shoes, so she can have auto haste. Now let's talk about Fang. For Fang, we have the Calamity Spear. The Calamity Spear is the Pandoran Spear fully upgraded and then transformed. So in order to get to the Calamity Spear, you're going to need to first get the Pandoran Spear, which can be found in the story or can be bought at a shop. Once you fully upgrade the Pandoran Spear, you're going to use a Scarletite upgrade crystal. The Scarletite can either be found in a treasure ball on the Archlight Steep while riding a chocobo, or it can be bought at a shop for 100,000 gil. So once you have the Pandoran Spear fully upgraded, use the Scarletite upgrade crystal to transform it into the Calamity Spear, and then fully upgrade the Calamity Spear to boost its stats. So as you can see, Fang's strength is over 1,000, meaning that she's going to do a lot of damage as a commando. Now the reason why I chose to increase the Calamity Spear or upgrade the Calamity Spear instead of something else is because of the passive ability Improved Debilitation 2. Now what Improved Debilitation means is the same thing as Improved Debuffing for Vanille. She has a better chance of inflicting debuffs when in her Saboteur role. So this really goes well with Vanille's Improved Debuffing because they can both debuff the boss really quickly. And because we have Improved Debilitation, then it increases the effectiveness of casting debuffs like D-Protect, D-Shell, Slow, Fog, stuff like that. So it's really good having the Calamity Spear on Fang and having the Marlboro Wand on Vanille, because they work together to quickly debuff the boss. And because of their passive abilities, Improved Debuff and Improved Debilitation, the boss is guaranteed to be debuffed within 30 seconds. Next up, we have 2 Speed Sashes. Now just like Vanille with her Survivalist Catalog and a Speed Sash, the reason for having 2 Speed Sashes together is because of Random Instant Chain. So Fang will have a small percentage of instantly staggering an enemy. And because we have it on both Fang and Vanille, the chances of instantly staggering an enemy is doubled. So this is really great. So pretty much we can stagger any enemy immediately that we fight, but there's only a small percentage of it that will make it work. So it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. And because we have it on both Fang and Vanille, the chances are doubled. Also, having 2 Speed Sashes will slowly restore the amount or the ATB gauge each time an enemy is defeated. So if you get into a battle with 10 enemies and Fang runs up and uses Blitz and takes out like 4 enemies, then her ATB gauge is going to be like almost fully recharged because we have 2 Speed Sashes. So then she can immediately use Blitz 2 more times without any wait time. So that's why it's important to have 2 Speed Sashes, but it's mainly for the Random Instant Chain so that you can instantly stagger an enemy. And finally, we have the Sprint Shoes so that she can have auto haste as well. Alright, so that pretty much covers it for the equipment. Let's finally talk about one more thing before going on. Let's talk about stats. So without any HP boosting or magic or strength boosting accessories, the base stats for each of our party is this. Lightning has 4,210 HP, 719 strength, 719 magic. Her weapon is the Axis Blade. Her accessories are Ribbon, level 1, Aurora Scarf, fully upgraded, and Sprint Shoes, fully upgraded. Her passive abilities is Attack ATB Charge, which means that once she kills an enemy, her ATB rate will recharge. She has Resilience plus 20%, making her immune to all status ailments by 20%. She has First Strike, meaning as soon as you get into a battle, her ATB gauge is fully charged so she can get a head start on attacking enemies. She has Auto Haste, which casts haste at the start of battle. Finally, she has ATB rate plus 15%. So that means that her ATB rate will recharge 15% faster. Next up, we have Vanille. Her HP is 3,925. Her strength is 705. Her magic is 1,023. Her weapon is a Marlboro Wand, fully upgraded. Her accessories is a survivalist catalog, fully upgraded. Her other accessories are speed sash, fully upgraded, and sprint shoes, fully upgraded. Her passive abilities is improved debuffing 2, allowing her to debuff any enemies more effectively. She also has Shroud Scavenger, which will increase the chances of obtaining shrouds after each battle. She has Kill ATB Charge, meaning after she kills any enemy, her ATB charge will recharge slightly. She has Auto Haste, so you can get haste at the start of every battle. Finally, she has Random Instant Chain, allowing her to instantly stagger enemies. Now let's talk about Fang. She has HP of 4,430. She has Strength of 1,021. She has a Magic of 830. Her weapon is a Calamity Spear, fully upgraded. And her accessories are 2 Speed Sashes and 1 Sprint Shoes, fully upgraded. Her passive ability is Improved Debilitation 2, allowing her to more effectively debuff any enemy. She has Kill ATB Charge, meaning every time she kills an enemy, her ATB gauge will recharge. She has Kill ATB Charge again, increasing the effect of her ATB gauge recharging after each kill. She has Auto Haste, so that she can have haste at the start of every battle. Finally, she has Random Instant Chain, allowing her to instantly stagger enemies. Alright, so that pretty much covers everything. We've talked about the paradigms, our character statuses, the Crystherium, our passive abilities, and our equipment. So one final thing to take note of is if you guys are trying to find a good CP place because you don't have your Crystherium maxed out and you really want to make sure that your Crystherium's maxed out before going any further, I would highly suggest to head back to the beginning of the Archlight Steep. Right here you'll find a save point. Now directly to the right of that save point is a Behemoth King that you can fight. So you can continuously fight that Behemoth King and get 4,000 CP after each battle. So that way you'll quickly be able to gain CP and max out your character's Crystherium within like an hour. And it's really easy and fast each fight if you preemptive strike them. Just wait for the Behemoth King to turn around and then run up behind him and preemptive strike him. That way you'll instantly stagger him and take him out within 30 seconds. So it's like every 30 seconds you're getting 4,000 CP really fast, and it's the best place to farm right now for CP. And finally, if you guys need gil to upgrade your weapons or buy accessories or anything like that, the best place to get gil in Chapter 11 is to keep replaying Seastone Mission 7. It can be found in the Yachas Massive. Seastone Mission 7. After beating it, you get 5 bomb cores. Every time you beat the mission, you can sell those 5 bomb cores for 3,000 gil, and then you just keep doing it over and over and over, and once you have about 95 bomb cores in your inventory, you can go sell them all for 60,000 gil. So if you need gil, that's the best place to do it. So yeah, if you have any other questions, just look back on previous episodes of this guide. I show you how to upgrade all the accessories I have. I show you how to upgrade all the weapons I have. If you have any questions about that, just look back. I explain it all in detail. I explain how to get gil, the fastest way to get gil in Chapter 11. I explain that in detail, and I explain the fastest way to get CP points in order to max out your character's Crystherium points, or just save up Crystherium points. So all that's explained in detail. Finally, all the side quests and all the Seastone missions are also covered in detail. So that should be everything. We've completed the first 17 Seastone missions, and yeah, that's pretty much all we can do for right now. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that your characters are up to date with weapons, accessories, CP, and gil. And make sure you got the first 17 Seastones completed. And then I'll see you guys next time where we finally progress the main story. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII.